So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Curry Era Rebuild series, and today it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. This era of Minnesota basketball was certainly not a very memorable one. We are obviously going through a rebuild right now with Karl-Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine, and this was a trio that I really wish got some more time together. Of course, both Wiggins and LaVine traded at some point, and Karl-Anthony Towns ends up going on to be the face of the franchise for many, many years, of course, up until this season. So our goal today is to see what we want to do with this team. Are we going to keep this young core intact? This was a group that won only 31 games this 2016-17 season, so safe to say we have a lot of work to do today. And as always, let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. Really big thank you to all of you. Many of you guys have been sharing some of your very great and creative ideas, and I do really genuinely appreciate them. So keep those coming down below in the comment section. Always open to whatever it is that you guys want me to do. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to continue this series until we basically wrap it up. So let's get into it. Okay, we are now here. It is time to get into this rebuild. As I mentioned in the intro, this team only won 31 games. So although maybe on paper the roster looks pretty decent, there's definitely a lot of work we're going to have to do here today. So it's the start of the 2016-2017 season. Of course, we are using a custom roster, so not everything is perfect, but it is a whole lot better than the BS the 2K puts into this game, let me tell you that. So let's go position by position. I'll give you kind of my thoughts on everybody on this team, and we'll see who's going to be here a while, who is certainly not going to be here for a while. So the point guard spot for me is pretty interesting because this is maybe the position we have the most depth at. Ricky Rubio is only 26 at this point in time, is on a multi-year contract, is an 80 overall. There's really no point in me saying that I absolutely need to replace him or anything like that, but we'll kind of keep an eye on this as the years go on. But of course, it is nice to have Rubio here, who is a really good facilitator of the basketball. Now behind him, we have Chris Dunn, who never really turned out to be quite what you would hope for a number 5 overall pick, right? I mean, he's a 73 overall right now, obviously more of a defensive specialist these days, and he's certainly somebody that I think has some potential here in 2K. I just don't know how, limited that is going to be. And of course, behind him, we have Tyus Jones as well, who's only 20, is going to be entering his second season in the league. We are likely going to keep him as a depth piece. Again, it's going to be tough to get all three of these guys playing time in year one, but we'll sort it out some way, shape, or form. Now we head over to the shooting guard spot, where the one and only listed shooting guard is Zach LaVine. Maybe there's an argument to move Chris Dunn behind him, play him at the backup too. But Zach LaVine's only 21 here. He's going to be entering his third year in the league, and he's a guy that I think can obviously continue to grow and continue to develop in the overall department, because he turns out to be a pretty damn good player, let me tell you that. The small forward spot with Andrew Wiggins is fun. Wiggs is only 21 here, of course. These were the times that many people thought Andrew Wiggins was going to be one of the next faces of basketball, and although I wouldn't say Andrew Wiggins was a bust or anything like that, he was a very important part of a Warriors championship team. I think some people were maybe a little bit let down with the way his career went, but obviously has still had a solid NBA career. I don't know how his progression is going to go here today. We'll keep an eye on it. Behind him, we have Brandon Rush, who's 31. Again, probably not a long-term option, especially that given that overall. And then, yeah, there's always going to be the auto-generated players. It's unfortunate, just kind of the way it is. The power forward spot, certainly something I'd like to address, and I would like to address it pretty quickly because 69 overall, Adrian Payne is not going to cut it, to say it nicely. So we will certainly address that before we kick off year one. I don't know who Kareem Anderson is, but he is obviously not a real person. And yeah, we'll have to find some depth there. And then finally, the center spot, which is interesting because Karl-Anthony Towns is coming off a really good rookie year. Do not get me wrong. But an 89 overall, already feels like it might be a little fast and maybe a little high. But again, he had a good rookie campaign. There's no denying that. Just, borderline 90 overall up there with some of the best in the league. I don't know about that, but I'll certainly take it. It's going to benefit us today. We got Gorgie Jang behind him in his $65 million contract, which, of course, I don't, certainly love for a backup. You got Jordan Hill in here as well. You got Cole Aldridge. And then finally, we have whoever the hell Darren Lee and Paul Joseph are. So we're going to obviously have to make some moves before we kick off year one. We certainly have to figure out and address the starting power forward spot. So that's probably going to be where I start. This first trade here is certainly not my favorite, but I don't have a ton in terms of tradable assets. And of course, we're not going to be very good this first season, so there's not really a real reason to kind of push all our chips into the middle, if you will. But we are sending Jordan Hill and Brandon Rush over to the Phoenix Suns for PJ Tucker and Tyson Chandler. Now, PJ Tucker, although maybe a bit undersized, will start at the 4. I understand that his overall is going to go down quite a bit. I fully understand that. And then Tyson Chandler either could be a trade asset. Of course, we don't need 3 centers as well. We have Gorgie Jang and obviously Karl-Anthony Towns. So he could just be another trade piece. I still haven't really determined that. But again, not my favorite trade in the world, but it does solidify a starter on this team. We're doing a 1-for-1 swap right now with the Portland Trailblazers on bad contracts. Now, this is not a great deal for us in the long term. We are getting 7 years younger, but we're also getting $4 million a year more expensive. So this is strictly a positional need kind of move for us. We're not giving up any draft capital. We are trading one bad long-term contract for another. Evan Turner, welcome to Minnesota. So he'll obviously be behind Andrew Wiggins at our small forward spot. The final thing we really need to address is who's going to be behind Tucker. I mean, worst comes to worst, we could maybe rock with Adrian Payne for 1 year, but I'd like to think there's maybe a little upgrade out there. So if not, I'll just see you guys with the rotation. This is a user-created, auto-generated Kyle O'Quinn, but he is a 70 overall, and he's only 25 years old and is on a multi-year contract. So we're going to make the trade for him with New York, and he's going to come in and be the backup at the starting four. So, or backup four, you get my point. We're also acquiring Dirk in this deal. Dirk Morris, that is. No idea who that is. We'll figure out what we want to do with him this offseason. So that's going to be it for our final deal. At least we have 10, real, I guess, somewhat quality rotation players here. Going to be Rubio and Jones, Levine. I did move Dunn to the backup too. Wiggins and Turner, Tucker and O'Quinn. And then finally it's going to be Towns and then Gorgie Jang. So again, we're not going to win a lot of games this season. I fully understand that. All the moves we made are really kind of long-term moves. And then one, of course, is just a plug and play. So yeah, let's set that rotation for what is likely going to be a very dreadful first season here in Minnesota. This is going to be a growth and development season. There is really no other goal in mind besides really making sure our young players get the most minutes possible and they develop the best they possibly can. So we have established the rotation in a way that is hopefully going to achieve that goal. Now, there's not really any surprises in the starting five. It's going to be Ricky Rubio and Zach LaVine here in our backcourt. Got Wiggins at the 3, got Tucker at the 4, and finally Karl-Anthony Towns as our starting center. Now, the bench unit's going to see Chris Dunn run the 6-man spot. He is by no means the highest overall off the bench. This is strictly because we technically just took him 5th overall, and I want to develop him as much as possible. Maybe here in 2K it goes a little bit better than it did in real life. I don't really know. You got Gorgie Jang here behind him off the bench. You got Evan Turner in here, Tyus Jones, and then finally Kyle O'Quinn. So yeah, I'm just not really sure, what I'm thinking with this team. I think we're going to be pretty bad. I think that kind of goes without being said. Dibs actually is the coach for this team. His ratings are pretty dreadful right now, so that is certainly something we will consider after the first season. But yep, this is going to be a pretty tough and a very much throwaway season. You don't see this one too often. Chris Paul winning the MVP award here at the end of year number 1. I already did the Clippers rebuild. I think it was just last week, and it was a ton of fun. But CP3 was very, very good at basketball during this time. But he takes home the MVP award. We won only 28 games, which is not great, but it means we're likely going to have an even better draft pick than what they had in real life, which, of course, was number 7 overall. So hopefully we're able to get a little lucky in the lottery. Simmons is your Rookie of the Year. Lou Will, 6th Man of the Year in LA. You got Draymond winning Depoy. Derrick Rose. I think I've mentioned this in pretty much every single rebuild since we found this kind of user-created custom roster, but the Derrick Rose version that is in here, for God knows what reason, is like MVP Derrick Rose. I don't really know why, but you got to kind of give and you got to take a little bit, right? This is a much better roster overall-wise, even if there are a few blemishes such as MVP Derrick Rose, but he was obviously never that good with New York. And then Todd James, whoever the hell that is, 67 wins up there in Boston, and they are going to be the 1 seed, and he takes home Coach of the Year. All right, we're not in the playoffs. That is not going to be a big surprise. We are going to end up here as the 13 seed in the West, as they did in real life, and, we just got to see what's going to end up happening here in the lottery. It actually looks like we're not going to be in much better lottery position than we were in real life. So we'll figure it out. Let's go over the numbers real quick. Karl-Anthony Towns was really good. He's up to a 91 overall already. You got Andrew Wiggins, who is developing quite nicely. Zach LaVine's our 3rd option. Rubio, Turner, Jones, Jang, Tucker, Dunn, and then O'Quinn. The rebounding department is Mr. Karl-Anthony Towns, and then Rubio at double-digit assists is really awesome to see. Okay. Simming through the first playoffs. Hopefully this is the one and only time we are not participating in these playoffs, and the Celtics get it done, and Al Horford is your finals MVP. Chris Paul MVP, Al Horford finals MVP. Interesting. All right, offseason number 1. Easily the biggest, moment of this video so far is going to be coming up when we, of course, get into the 2017 draft lottery. We have a lot of luck hopefully coming our way. We have a lot of big decisions to make, no doubt. But yeah, let's just see what's going to end up happening here. What are we projected? We're projected number 8, which is not great. Let's just see what's going to end up happening. And we sit right there at 8. All right, so in real life, this team had number 7 overall. They drafted Lauri Markkanen at number 7 overall, and then, of course, included him in the draft night deal with the Chicago Bulls that eventually landed Jimmy Butler in Minnesota, which turned out to be a whole other form of a shit show. So I don't think I'll be trading Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, Lauri Markkanen. I think there was maybe one other piece in there. For Jimmy Butler, I just don't really see that one happening today. But we'll figure out what we do want to do with this 8th overall pick, right? I don't think we're going to be getting a superstar here at number 8. Do I hang on to Tibbs? That is the question. there are certainly some talented names here in the coaching department. I feel like I would be an idiot, honestly, not to go out and try to get at least one of them, right? I mean, we have about $8.5 million in terms of a coaching budget, and if Tibbs' ratings were just like a little bit better, I mean, again, I know the potential's there, but he's not some like young up-and-coming coach. I think I'm going to move on, right? I mean, again, we didn't give him a ton to work with, but those ratings aren't great, and I think we could probably get better. So I'm going to throw some offers out there. I'm obviously going to give Mike one. He's a guy I offer pretty much every time. Probably not going to be my first choice. I like to mix these things up. If I can get Mike D'Antoni, certainly be able to take him. Now, Doc Rivers, I think, has the ratings, certainly, and I will likely offer him. It's just a little bit nervous with Doc. He doesn't have the best reputation out there in terms of success. Okay, and so Doc Rivers is tentative. Mike D'Antoni accepts, and so I'm going to choose him over Stauffer because it's not every day I get to use Mike. So, yeah, welcome to the team. All right, we have the 8th overall pick. What do I want to do with it? That is the million-dollar question, I guess, if you will. Of course, we have this young core locked into place, our big three of Towns, Wiggins, and LaVine. We have some nice complementary pieces, but I do think we are certainly in need of some upgrades, no doubt about it. So I am going to see you either in the draft or with the trade. Well, it's going to be the latter. We are going to be making a trade here, and then you'll still see me in the draft because Gorgie Jang, Evan Turner, and the 8th overall pick are all being shipped to Philadelphia for the 6th overall selection, and Robert Covington, who's actually the highest overall out of the trio, and is making substantially less money. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what Philadelphia is thinking with this one. While Gorgie Jang's a fine option, statistically as a backup center, the price tag is just out of this world ridiculous, and then the swap of Turner for Rocco doesn't make any sense for Philly, but it makes all the sense in the world for us. So, yeah, I mean, stupid is as stupid does. Thank you very much. We jump up 2 spots. Basically shell off like $30-ish million off of our books, and fine by me. So we're probably not going to get, Tatum or Mitchell, but I think there are certainly still going to be some pretty good names here that are available for us on the board. Wow, we're actually 1 off from getting Donovan Mitchell. Now, again, shooting guard's not the biggest position of need. I would say that would still likely be the power forward spot for us. Of course, you do have 2 power forwards with Kuzma and Markkanen already off the board, but there are certainly still some pretty good players here. So jumping out of me immediately is obviously De'Aaron Fox. You also see Bam Adebayo here. I'm thinking that De'Aaron Fox will probably be the pick. Now, I understand point guard's not a position of need. We have good depth at our guard spots basically all the way around. What he's, in my opinion, the best player here. And I think there is a possibility that he could start for this team eventually. Whereas maybe a guy like Bam Adebayo, probably not ever going to start given the fact that Karl Anthony Towns is 21 years old, superstar, all that shit. So Bam's fine, and maybe I could play him at the 4, but I'm going to go with De'Aaron Fox. I think, again, a little bit of a better player. I think his overall is going to progress quite nicely. So welcome to the team, De'Aaron Fox. He's going to come in at a 75 overall. Team player options will be bringing back Towns, Wiggins, LaVine, and Jones, all on very, very cheap money. And maybe we have some cash to spend. Do we have any money? We do. We have a little bit of money here, and I think we could actually clear up more if we really wanted to. With, outside of PJ Tucker, not really anybody I'm super interested in bringing back. So I think I'm going to try to make a little bit of a splash here in free agency. I'm not exactly sure who it is going to be for, but you guys will, of course, know when I do. We are getting the random CPU, user-created, whatever the hell you want to call it, bullshit contracts off of our books. We're sending Dirk Morris in his $10.5 million annual salary to the Celtics for a future second-round pick. Look, I don't like just dumping money for no reason, but when they want to give these fake players crazy money, I'm going to do it, and that's another $15 million off the books. So I'm going to make offers to pretty much all of the big free agents, and then we'll kind of just go from there. From a positional need, it's clear that power forward is obviously still number one. It's not even really debatable at this point. There's just not a lot of power forward options that I love here, right? Like, Paul Millsap would be a nice addition, but he's 32, and I'm not really sure how much better those numbers are going to get. And I'm just going to probably try to sign a superstar, right? When you have a super young core like this, I think it makes a lot of sense to go out and get a veteran player that's obviously won before and could maybe really carry your team to a championship. So I'm going to offer Steph. I'm going to offer KD, maybe even Chris Paul as well. And I'm just going to hope I'm somehow delusional enough to maybe land one of them. Again, I highly doubt that it's going to happen, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening here. I'll probably pass on Derrick Rose. I'm not saying that, Derrick Rose is a bad player, because he's not. This is literally the best version of Derrick Rose, but it would feel a little cheesy to sign Derrick Rose when he's not supposed to be this good. I understand another team will just do it, but I'm not going to, participate in that. So I'm also going to throw some money at CP3. Again, I fully understand, we're offering 2-point guards maximum contracts and not even close to our biggest need right now, but we'll figure out a trade if one of these guys is willing to accept this. And unfortunately for us, none of them are. Makes sense. Steph Curry goes to the Bulls, KD goes back to the Warriors, and CP3 goes back to the Clippers. All right, well, now our attention has turned elsewhere because obviously Paul Millsap is somebody we are interested in. The Lakers are offering him 81 over 3. Let's just see what that kind of looks like. I'm just pulling out my phone. It's about $27 million annually. I think that's another route we could go. If I give him like 29.5, again, you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more because we were a pretty shitty team. It looks like he would be willing to take that. So we could do that, and I think we might have space for maybe one more. We'll sort that out after, though. So we're going to sign Paul Millsap, 3 years, roughly $92-ish million total. And I'm excited about that. Obviously, big position of need. Not a superstar signing, but certainly a nice veteran presence in our front court, especially next to our young superstar here. So I'm excited about that move. I think our starting five will still be locked into place. We are likely still going to have to make at least one trade, just given the quite a bit of depth we have in this team. We do need to find some backup bigs. So, oh my God, there's no way. There's no way that Steph Curry is still sitting here. I don't think he would have accepted our offer, but the fact that he God, that's annoying. Okay. How about a guy like Ryan Anderson? Another power forward we could maybe go out and give a little bit of money to. 29 years old, another veteran player here. About $11 million annually to him. Ryan Anderson, welcome to the team. All right, our power forward spot's pretty much solidified at this point. Kyle O'Quinn is a guy who's probably just going to be on his way out and included in a little bit of a bigger deal, so I'll show you guys whenever I find that trade. We actually had more money to spend, so we are not going to be making a trade for a new backup center. We're just going to be signing 25-year-old Jared Sullinger, who by no means is a superstar or anything like that, but he's a nice, I don't want to say veteran, but, somewhat, experienced big man to be able to play behind Karl-Anthony Towns. So what I'll honestly probably do is just hang on to like Tyus Jones. If he was expiring, I would likely trade him, but he's not, so he'll probably, unfortunately just fall out of the rotation, and then after this season, we'll likely have to make one more big move because, again, we'll probably cash it all in for one final huge trade. But I think this team should be good, and I think we'll likely be maybe one of the lower seeds in the West playoffs next year. So see you guys with the rotation. All right, it is year 2 here in Minnesota. Expectations have changed. That kind of goes without being said. I don't think we're a championship team, but we certainly should be fighting for a playoff spot here, even in a very loaded Western Conference. So starting 5 is as follows. Ricky Rubio, Zach LaVine, they remain the backcourt. I'm honestly surprised LaVine didn't really move in the overall department too much. I mean, he's now entering year 4, and he's still like a low 80s, which not exactly my favorite, but it's okay. Wiggins still here at the 3. We'll obviously sign Paul Millsap. Karl-Anthony Towns, who is easily our best player, is going to be our starting center. Bench unit is certainly improved, no doubt about that, with Robert Covington taking over 6-man responsibilities. We brought in Ryan Anderson along with Jared Sullinger. De'Aaron Fox is playing 14 minutes a night as the backup point guard, and then finally Chris Dunn as the backup 2 guard. So I feel bad. Like, Tyus Jones is probably good enough to be in this rotation. He didn't do anything wrong to be kind of removed from it, but he will likely just be a trade piece this offseason. We'll sort that out once we get there. But new head coach as well, Mike D'Antoni, and I think this team should be pretty fun this season. So see you guys at the end of year 2. CP3 has now won back-to-back MVPs. Kind of crazy to me, but here it is here in 2K. More importantly, we thought we were going to be a fun young team that, maybe makes a little bit of noise, sneaks into the playoffs, tough first-round exit. No, we went 61-21. This team is real. We are here. We are very much ready to compete for the Western Conference. Donovan Mitchell, he's your Rookie of the Year in Orlando. You got Malcolm Brogdon as 6th man. Kawhi is your depoy. Jaylen Brown wins Most Improved. Okay. Doc Rivers, 67-15 there in Los Angeles. He is your Coach of the Year. So we end up as the 2 seed. You can see it right there. Here's a look at the full standings right now. It feels like we're very much ahead of schedule, which, has good things. There's good things and bad things about that, right? I mean, of course, expectations will certainly be raised unbelievably high come this offseason, but those expectations are also pretty high now. If you do it over an 82-game schedule, you should be able to do something pretty good when it comes to the playoffs. So I'm pretty excited. I think this team is really, really dangerous, and I think we could be a lot of fun here in the the first playoff run, second season. So there are the numbers all across the board. It is going to be us and the Houston Rockets here in round 1. No doubt in my mind that they have the best player in this series here in James Harden, but I think we're a little bit of a more well-rounded group here in Minnesota. So we take the first 2 on our home floor, do drop game 3 on the road. We take home game 4, and we drop them off in 5. Now we're moving on to Denver here. Who again are, I don't want to say similar to us, but they're a young team who are obviously making their way up. Jokic is really good. I said this the last time I saw Yusuf Nurkic in one of these videos. No disrespect to him. He's just never been, close to a 90 overall player. Just not really how it works, but that's fine. All right, here goes nothing. We split the first 2 with them. We lose game 3 and game 4, and then we get bounced in 5. Disappointing end. That was kind of what I was talking about, right? When, you you have a really good season like that, the pressure kind of ramps up a little bit. Not a great series out of Wiggins. Pretty tough shooting, not great scoring. Not great in the scoring department out of Rubio. I mean, again, his assists were pretty consistent. But, yeah, I just feel like we're maybe one piece away. But that was a really fun season, no doubt about it. Celtics go back-to-back, and CP3 wins back-to-back MVPs. Al Horford wins back-to-back finals MVPs. What a world we are living in, my friends. Okay. This is going to be the final offseason, obviously, here in this 3-year rebuild. We are going to go ahead and have to make, I don't want to say it's like super tough choices, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just so you know, our pick was lottery protected, and the Atlanta Hawks owned it. You can see it is sitting right there at number 28. I'm not sure what trade that's from. I did not make that trade, so it must have been something that was previously done. Mike D'Antoni will obviously stay on as our head coach, and as we approach the 2018 draft, I just want to confirm that we do not have any real draft picks. All right, I'm just going to move these for some future seconds. Thank you very much. Team player options here. We are going to bring back Towns, Dunn, and Jones, and then O'Quinn actually picks up his player option. Why he has a player option, I'm not really sure, but it is what it is. Levine and Wiggins are both going to be entering restricted free agency. They are both players that I'd like to retain, kind of no doubt about that in my mind. So Levine only wants about $15 million. Wiggs is looking for about $19, $20. So we're just going to pay both of them, and then yeah, we're going to have to make a tough decision, but we will be making at least one upgrade. Oh my God. Holy shit. Well, the blockbuster has been pulled off. I gave up a lot. I understand that. Wow. Holy shit. Well, Damian Lillard is now here. My God. Well, we obviously made a blockbuster deal. Landed ourselves Damian Lillard, and I honestly didn't have a problem. There was nothing wrong with the way our point guard spot was being handled by Ricky Rubio, but obviously this is kind of night and day. Just in terms of a major upgrade. So it's going to be these two at the point guard spot. Shooting guard's good. Small forward's good. I don't love the idea of playing Kyle O'Quinn. I just don't think we're going to have enough money to really sign two impactful backups. We're not even really going to have the money to sign one impactful backup. So honestly, Kyle O'Quinn is likely going to have to remain off the bench. So I guess I am kind of glad I didn't end up trading him. But we are, oh boy, these are all just the two-way bullshit. I hate this. I really, really hate it. All right. Who is like the best center here? It's fuck you, Miles Leonard. Oh man, Bogut. They're all just old. Power forward is not much better. I don't love signing a Kardashian, but it's fine. I'll do that, and then I'll just move O'Quinn. Maybe do his more natural fit of center anyway. So yeah, the bottom of our bench is certainly going to take a bit of a hit. That's fine. Again, adding a guy like Damian Lillard, who I don't want to say I overpaid for, because that's kind of hard to argue, but it's just clearly such a significant upgrade for this team. It's just not even funny. So. Yeah, man, this is it. It's going to be the final season. I'll see you guys in the rotation. It is championship or bust. Last season was not great in the playoffs. It was a fantastic regular season, ton of success there, but we, do these rebuilds for championships. So this offseason, we pulled off a blockbuster, acquiring Damian Lillard from the Portland Trail Blazers, which I just didn't think was even remotely possible when I went out and attempted to make the deal, and of course it ended up going through. So Dame's taking over the point guard spot, still got Levine here at the 2, Wiggins, Millsap, and then Karl-Anthony Towns. An unbelievably talented 1 through 5. There's no doubt about that. The top 3 on the bench are pretty damn good as well. De'Aaron Fox is up to an 81. Chris Dunn is an 80. Still got Rocco here as well, and then a little bit of a drop-off here with Chris Kardashian and Kyle O'Quinn, but they'll be fine. It's going to be 10 minutes a night for both of them. It is certainly not the end of the world. So I'm hoping this is the team that can get it done. I really think it is, and I'll see you guys at the end of the final regular season. We finally do have a new MVP. It is another superstar point guard here with Russell Westbrook. We wrap up year 3 with a record of 66-16, by the way. So we are no longer, a super fun story that overachieved throughout a regular season and is not going to be super successful in the playoffs. That is not the story of us anymore. We are a team that is well established, although still maybe somewhat young at the core. Now have some outside help with Damian Lillard and Paul Millsap, and this team is ready to go. I think it's championship time. Russ is insane. Luka Doncic. I always see him end up in Atlanta. It's funny. What if? Lonzo somehow ended up on the Lakers. You got DJ winning Depoy. Markelle Fultz is in Utah. He's your most improved player. And we don't even get Coach of the Year. Disappointing. Well, we actually didn't have the best record technically, but sad, man. We do take the Western Conference, though. And we were 7 games up on Denver. Here is a look at the East. We had 3 64-plus win teams. That is insane. All right, let's see what happens here with the numbers. Damian Lillard only 16.5 points a game, which would be his lowest since, ever. Did not expect that. Again, I know there's a lot of help and a lot of scoring talent around him. I just kind of expected him to easily be 20-plus points per game, but that's neither here nor there. Towns, and then it's going to be Millsap. Round 1, it is us and the Clippers. Chris Paul has won 2 out of 3 MVPs in this video. I know the help around him isn't necessarily super great, but I think there is not a real reason to look over this series. That's just a nothing. So we're currently up 2-1. They tie at 2-2. Oh my God. Oh my God. We win. Okay, now moving on to Golden State. They've lost Steph Curry. They've replaced him with Chris Paul. You got Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green. I know it's Rondo. I know. I get it. All right, West semifinals. Let's see what's going to end up happening here. Quick 2-0 lead for us. Make that 3-0. Okay, don't sweep the Warriors, but we do win in 5. I don't know how that series was easier than the Clippers, but I don't know. Denver here. This is the team that beat us last year. So we're out and we're looking for a little bit of revenge. Jokic is incredible. Obviously, they have the OP power of Yusuf Nurkic and then a pretty decent backcourt here, along with Gallinari and Gary Harris. So this is not a walk in the park. It never really is. We are up 3-0, though. Nope, didn't mean to do that. I'm not really sure what's going on right now. No. Thank you. And we're in the NBA Finals, and we are taking on the 3-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, who have Kyrie Irving, J.R. Smith. This guy's pretty good. You got Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Amon Shumpert. So there's obviously a lot of talent here in Cleveland. And honestly, I know I've said this before in other videos. I'm surprised that I don't really see Cleveland, as dominant in these videos as they were in real life, right? Like LeBron ran the conference pretty much the entire time he was in the East, both stints. I don't really know why this is the case, but it is what it is. All right, we are going to be down 2-1 right now. We tied up at 2-2. We go down 3-2. Not great, Bob. Not great. And we are back in Cleveland, and not good. Not good, to say the least. All right, we're fighting back. We are fighting back, and I'd like to get this to a point where I can kind of have a shot. I just want a shot. I'll see you in there. Nobody has ever accused me of being clutch or really good at this game or really anything that is positive when it comes to gameplay. But if there's a time for me to have a first, it is right now. God damn it. Okay, I need to wake up, and I need to wake up quickly here. Oh my God, is that Andrew Bennett? Oh my God, I don't know what the hell that was. All right, give the ball to De'Aaron Fox. Is Damian Lillard and Karl Anthony Towns not in the game right now? What the hell, bro? What the actual hell? All right, I am just going to get inside. Millsap. Go. Oh my God, bro. It's like there's a lag. Fantastic game out of Millsap, by the way. But why would Dame and Cat not be in the fucking game right now? We got Zach LaVine on LeBron. This is... Oh, they took a time. Fine by me. I get to put my 2 best players back in. I mean, good Lord. I don't know what the hell that coaching was by Mike D'Antoni, but that's fine. All right, starters are going to be staying in the game here. We are officially at 2 minutes and 13 seconds left, and we are up 1. I have to play some of the best defense of my life right now. I am going to hope and pray that it is... Bro, why is it not go that way? God damn it. J.R. Smith working it on Zach LaVine. They're going to... Oh my God, I'm asleep. I am asleep at the wheel. Oh my God, that was actually pretty good. What the fuck is that? Oh, son of a bitch. I thought I jumped with him, but apparently Tristan Thompson is just too quick for me. Dame, 10 points, man? Can I have the ball? Jesus Christ. 10 points, Damian Lillard. You're Damian Lillard. Can we just wake up here a little bit? Kyrie Irving. Oh my God, he just blew by him. And Dame's going to go up and under, and I thought there was going to be an and one opportunity there. But there is not, and Damian Lillard is now up to 12 points. All right, on-ball defense against Kyrie Irving feels like maybe one of the dumber things I could possibly do right there, so I'm not going to do it, but I will kind of hover over here with Wiggins on LeBron, and yeah, you can call me a bitch, you can call me whatever you want. I want to win this fucking game. Kyrie, no. Oh my God, he missed. You got to step up and contest that. All right, okay. I feel like a fast break layup. Dame to the bucket, baby. Puts us up 3, still a 1-possession game, but it definitely helps. All right. Again, not going to be playing on-ball defense. I cannot believe Kyrie missed that 3. I thought for sure it was going to be going in. He's dancing with Dame, gets into the paint, little floater is up, and it is good. We are back to a 1-point ball game as we approach a minute left to go here in Cleveland. It is not a do or die for them, but it certainly is for us. We are going to be calling for an ISO, and then I am going to just work here on Kyrie Irving, who is not necessarily known as a great defender. He does get me there, though. We're going to kick it into Towns. 5 seconds left on the clock. We're going to go up, and he's going to lay it up, and it doesn't go. Towns cannot get that one in, and we are 50 seconds left on the clock. JR for 3. Drills it. He drills it, and it is now a 2-point deficit. It went from great to really bad really quickly. Dame. Misses the three. No way. He smoked that. LeBron going to kick it into Thompson. He's going to go. There's no way. There's no way. Was that not all ball? Was it not? Could I challenge this shit? Oh, no way. I want to see. I want to see for my own eyes. Hello, can we hurry this fucking shit? Why would you give me the replay of this? Nobody cares about that. All right, they're going to kick it in, and then let's just go over here. And then he's going to go up. And I thought I timed it well. He jumps. Maybe got the hand a little bit there. Oh, son of a bitch. Tristan Thompson going to the free throw line has the chance to extend it to a 2-possession game with 31 seconds left on the clock. First one's up, and it is good. It is officially a 3-point ball game. Big shot there from Thompson, and this is the one that really, really could hurt us here. So Thompson to the stripe. Second shot is up, and he missed it. He missed it, and we are taking a timeout immediately because we obviously have to go not as quick as possible, but we only have really one great opportunity for this 3-point shot right now. I mean, of course, we could get an easy 2 and just foul and play that game, but I think we're much better off having an opportunity here to go for the 3. So what does a 3-point shooting lineup look like? They put in Chris Kardashian basically instead of Paul Millsap. Oh, no, they keep Millsap in. They just remove Wiggins. All right, I'm not doing that. Starters are staying in the game. Logically, even though he's not having a great night, I think it makes the most sense to get this shot off with Damian Lillard, if you know what I'm saying. So we were not able to advance the ball because my dumbass dribbled it. So we are going to go ahead, go over here. We're going to call for a quick isolation on Kyrie. And then I need a screen here. It's going to be coming from Millsap, who's going to give me the screen up here. Dame, 3, green. Dame fucking drilled it. Oh my God, big time shot from a big time player. Now Cleveland is taking their final timeout with 17 seconds left on the clock, and they just need a single point. Does not matter which way it's going to come. I am going to see what a defensive lineup looks like. Again, these are the situations where maybe you are a little hurt by the lack of depth that you have. So I'm going to put in the full defensive lineup. This is what it's saying to do. Chris Dunn going to be entering the game. Same here with De'Aaron Fox, who we'll see. We'll see. Now we have 17 seconds. They're going to likely be able to get a pretty good look. I'm going to work it here. They're going to give it up. Oh, no. I thought they were giving it to Tristan Thompson. Kyrie's just going to hold the ball. Makes sense. Kyrie wants to take the shot. Not really sure why it's going to not be going to LeBron, but Kyrie's just holding. They're going to come up with the screen. I'm going to pick up Kyrie. Oh, my God. Is that my fault? Is that my fault? It was a switch, right? I mean, the screen comes. You don't just... Probably my fault. Probably shouldn't have tried to pick up Kyrie Irving with a center, but I actually feel like I was in pretty good position there with Cat, and whoever it was either Fox or Dunn, just didn't really drop with an open roller. So, yeah, that sucks, but it is what it is, and you'll learn these lessons, and we're going to have one shot at this. We're going to have one shot at this. It is the season on the line. Damian Lillard going to pull up for the jumper, and it doesn't go. We lose. Heartbreak in Cleveland. Heartbreak in Cleveland at the hands of LeBron James as he takes home the Finals MVP award. And, yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. Again, I'm going to kind of blame myself there. I understand we were, down whatever when we entered the game, and but we were up 3. We were up 3 with like a minute left, and it kind of slipped away from me. I thought I had a good defensive position against Kyrie Irving with that final possession there with Cat, but didn't work, man. Did not work, and then I bricked the jumper with Dame. So, yeah, sucks, man. Really, really does suck, but it is what it is. I hope it was entertaining. Man, we were that fucking close. We were that close. I know this video's been long as hell. I'll keep this short, but yeah, it was an entertaining video. It was a very fun rebuild, and came up short, unfortunately, but definitely was a blast. I really enjoyed making this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Let me know any other rebuild ideas down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.